couple of months now, and I actually saw something completely new pop out, and I was just so pleased. So it's always a pleasure to see the end of the run. There's a couple of other really neat Easter eggs in here too, so maybe we'll hope for a little bit of Earthcave action tonight too.
Oh man, I love me some Magnus Cave, if only because I want to turn the volume up and see what happens. I won't spoil it. We'll get there if we end up going there, but it looks like we're getting close to being able to launch this. So, Demerin, you know, what are we hoping to see? You know, there's a lot of different things that we can see kind of in different areas. Are you hoping for an early crystal and then just a race to get your party? Are you hoping for kind of a key item dive? So we're going to see lots of running around trying to find these key items. What are you wanting to see tonight?
I always enjoy seeing a mix of strategies and a mix of locations, so I'm hoping to see all 4 of our runners go in different directions around the world and show us interesting sights and take on fun bosses and show us what this game is really capable as they are about to get started.
Absolutely. So the opening is always something I like to see because everyone, I think, has kind of their own unique opening in terms of how they get rolling and how they get kind of the early game going. Different people like to start off in different towns, opening up different treasure chests, checking different shops. With free lunch activated, you got to think that they're going to be heading for those early character item slots pretty quick, though.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of different strategies that people employ depending upon the characters that they have. With free lunch off, they're going to be running to grab up characters left and right before they get geared up. So, Vitasia, we've started out on the Adamant. What do you think about this start for us tonight?
Instinctively, garbage in terms of the key item. But Palem is kind of an interesting early start. A black mage who gets a lot of his good spells relatively early. His Quake and Virus spells come in much earlier than some of the other, than Rydia, for example. So we might see some early black maging happening, and we see Couch and Nightdew immediately going to Baron. Meanwhile, the right hand of the screen is going immediately to Mysidia to get these 2 characters, and we have Atella and a Kane.
So, Tella's a little bit of a rough find, because he's another one of the early game characters that, you know, he gets some good spells. Tella, there's some strategy involved with him given his spell list, so we'll see if they hang on to him. Kane's a physical bruiser. He's really solid. On the left side of the screen, we just had the item duplication glitch go off the page, so if you could take us through that quickly.
Yeah, effectively, the item duplication glitch, because every video game coded in the 1990s by Nintendo is amazing in terms of its solidity. What you can do is, if you know what? Help me out here, because I know how to do it, but I don't know like the back-end coding of it, of why it works.
Right. So basically the way that this game is encoded is that based upon the miracle of counting, you know, everything is a number. And so what's the number below 0?
-1 is what they taught me in math class. But
Right.
I'm presuming it doesn't work that way.
And your math class is absolutely correct, excepting that in the binary coding, it's really ends up being 65,535. So by taking an item and equipping it in a way that allows us to duplicate it, it ends up that you have a blank stack that is full of items, absolutely filled to the brim, and you'll see all 4 of these runners have sold a stack of items for about 3 million gold. So essentially they are underflowing a counter to make the game think they have something that they don't. It's really, really neat.
And I'm seeing some early Artemis arrows in a few different locations, which when you have an Edward start, especially this early, that's kind of nice to see, because that's about all he can do.
Yeah, archery power is always really appreciated. You can do a lot with a lot of different types of arrows. Mute arrows are generally a pretty appreciably powerful find as well for killing sorcerers. So the first key item pickup was from Edward at Edward's bed in Troya, and it was the magma key. It's a very interesting pickup to start us off.
Yeah, there's only two ways to get into the underworld, either through the magma key or through the hook. And having the magma key relatively early, I think is a nice find, knowing that you can possibly avoid that early required hook to the underworld, which can really kind of put a slog into the run as you're going through it.
Yeah, it will definitely help us pick up the pace here. Getting started, Couch has decided to crack it immediately and go set up underground access, at least opening it up. Natara and Prism have decided to go through some item loops in a couple of different directions. Prism is cleaning out the watery pass pretty completely. Natara is busy cleaning out Baron right now.
Meanwhile, we see Night Duke kind of over here in Troya, which is interesting, and then exiting out immediately. Couch looks like is going straight to the land to summon monsters, which is really kind of interesting. With the T3 flags, there's quite a few treasure chests that are available, but he's bypassing it all, just focus firing on these key items, it feels like.
Yeah, it's a definitively intriguing strategy, and I know it's one that a lot of runners will go for. It's a freebie. Like, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any grinding. You just come down here. You get to open a couple of easy boxes because encounters are off. The E3 flag allows us to not fight monsters. And crack open that chest on the 3rd floor for a key item with no effort.
Yeah, Couch does go ahead and check. We have the legend source, so we have the adamant and the legend, and we have an early Cecil, so I can see us cracking open Cecil, go ahead making him a paladin. Early Excalibur, that could really carry us a little bit further down the line, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Cecil's in the watery pass. He's going to be pretty easy to get if you want him. The ability to get the adamant, or turn the adamant and the legend sword into the Excalibur is just one part of the equation, though. The other half of it is it gives you access to the final shop in the game. Well, other than on the moon, but it gives you access to Kokol's shop. And in the randomizer, that shop is highly prioritized to have really strong weapons and armor.
That is information I did not know, and could have saved me a lot of time in some of my other seeds.
It's not something that comes up every time because you've got two key items that you really normally don't want to see coming together. They don't generate any progress.
So over here on Natara's side, we're going to get our first look over here at Mount Hobbs, and Rydia is sitting up here.
All right, so Mount Hobbs is a location that you can get a character. Natara going to the literally everybody is better than Eddie school at this point. Rydia, though, is a black mage that starts at level 1 with nothing but the Chocobo summon. She needs a little bit of work to get started.
Well, I mean, she's a kid, and, you know, no matter what you feel about Rydia, a little bit later, that's creepy, guys. She's a kid. And then she grows up, like, so fast. So weird.
The plot line of Final Fantasy IV is a great one. Let's, let's just keep it at that.
We'll go with that, yeah. So, Mylan Z, not a problem for Natara at that point. Kane looks like is also up, in addition to where he was in Mysidia, is also located over here in Damsian. So we do unlock the hovercraft. That's a little interesting to see us unlocking the hovercraft when we know where the magma key is already.
Yeah, I'm sure that everybody here is looking for characters right now, and since Damison is a free character, people are still going to go and run the airship to get that at that point. Couch goes down and finishes Sylph Cave. That is the key item that's unlocked in Fauble Castle from Gang's wife Sheila. And on Night Dew scene, we have Kane meeting Kane over the dead body of Anna.
I've seen that movie. I don't like that movie. Meanwhile,
back on other screens someplace.
So with all this money, we do see Couch buying some Cure 3s. We don't really have an efficient white mage yet, other than Tella, and he's middling at best at this point in time. So gonna pop off and get quite a few Cure 3s in the meantime, so he can be prepared to heal through anything in this mid-game that we're about to approach.
The only thing Couch doesn't have right yet is characters, but that's going to be quickly remedied. He also has a Dancing Dagger on Palom, which is a nice early game item, especially without J items.
We do see Natara taking our first look into the Antlion Cave. Again, another key item, which is nice at this point in time, and it's a relatively early dungeon that you can complete with a small party in order to be able to start some experience gain and really kind of get the game going.
Yeah. One of the big things is that bosses scale by location, so you could find a boss down here that's an endgame boss. You could find, say, Rubicon down here, but he'll have the hit points and stat scaling of Antlion in that position, so, decent physical damage, very low magical damage, and otherwise that low health that we're really looking for.
And Couch is showing us that early Excalibur and that Kokol location, which had quite a few late game items for our heavy armor users. And right now that's Cecil and Kane. We gotta think Couch, well, once Couch finds them, we'll say. We'll see where Couch ends up heading. Tomra, looks like.
Yeah, probably about to do a little bit more inventory clean out and shopping. So Crimson Phoenix goes ahead and picks up Rydia off the top of Mount Hobbs, taking out Mill and Z as well, and is going to go and scrape out some chests down here too, and finds his Zeus Gauntlet. That is an excellent find for your endgame melee plan. What the Zeus Gauntlet does is an equipment in your arm slot that gives you basically no defense whatsoever, but it gives you 15 strength. It lets you swing for the fences.
Yeah, your melee fighters kind of become a little bit of a glass cannon, so as long as you put it on someone like a Young who you know is going to be able to survive a big bang no matter what, it ends up being super effective in the end of it.
And even in the early game, 15 strength gives you a lot of output early on. It's an immense amount of damage right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like we have an Octomum in the Antlion Cave, which is, French vanilla right next door.
Yeah, gets bailed out, gets removed from the battlefield pretty quickly with a Kane jump. Kane with a spear doing a lot of damage there. And Natara picks up the Pan.
That's interesting. We'll see when Couch ends up heading over there. Remember, Couch has already done one trip into the Sylph Cave. So his trip into Fabul may not be quite as efficient as some of these other runners since he's already been there once, and that Pan will make it a little bit easier to just route both of those when you're down there in the Sylph Cave.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a minor efficiency loss, but it's what you do with early underground access. A lot of the time, it's a good roll of the dice. So we're going to get our first look at a different key item location here, as Natara is going to go and see what's for sale at Babel Castle. But Babel Castle also having a key item there as well.
Is it Fabul or Fabul or how what's the official pronunciation here?
I don't know, Vitasia. I mispronounce everything. So, there's 9 different pronunciations for Denison Castle, and I'll use 4 of them during this stream. So
that's fair. I think that's fair for all of us.
Yeah, so how do you feel about the start of this race about 15 minutes in, Vitasia? Where do we stand right now? What do you think is next on our runners' plates?
Well, 3 of our 4 runners haven't dipped their pinky toe yet into the underworld, which I would like to see them doing relatively quickly. I think with these particular flags, the sooner you can check all the item shop locations for you to get, as soon as you get, well, I guess 3 out of 4 of them already have their pass. So it's, at this point, get your party, get going. Most people have their party already going. Couch going into the underworld, I can understand it, maybe in a different set of flags, but when you had so much overworld to check, everyone else effectively has their parties just about set already.
Yeah, I mean, Couch admittedly is, one of the more unorthodox but very strong runners. His routing is always very creative and very, very interesting to me because he does such good work. The results do really show that he does the work, and his interesting routing choices tend to work out really well.
Well, and it should be noted that Couch has set himself up as soon as he ends up finding his Cecil, will be in a great position with that Excalibur, because none of the other runners have had that. Although we haven't seen Couch go over there yet, and he has a party full of dancing daggers, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Dancing Dagger being a use item that deals about 300 to 400 damage on use. It's way better than fighting in the early game, especially for your spellcasters who don't have their spells, in a row yet. Natara is over, finishes up killing Yang at Fabul. As commentary comments, Mooncross Warrior does comment, Yang is attacking his own castle tonight.
Weirder things have happened.
And weirder things have happened on this seed already, so...
I know. So we did pick up a Silent Staff, which is going to be nice for our white mages, and Rydia even counts as a white mage right now. You wouldn't necessarily want to do that, but if you're counting on Tella to be a healer for a while, that'd be nice there. Couch is immediately, he picked up that pan and says, yes, sir, I'm going right back down to Young and smacking him in his bald face.
Yeah, the things we do for items, absolutely. So from the King of Fabul for Natara was the Hook. The Hook is the other access to Underground. However, it's the access to Underground that takes a very long time. There are some bosses down there that can really block up runs. So, do you expect that she's going to use the Hook to get Underground at this point, Patasia?
It depends on what she thinks about her party right now. I could honestly see using the Hook to get that. There's another party location there, and there's quite a few treasure chests with only one or two monster treasure chests in that particular cave. So if you're worried about your equipment or you're worried about your party, you might take a dip in there to see what's going on. You wouldn't go dip into Tower of Babel at that point in time, though, at all.
Yeah, and the interesting thing for that character slot is that particular character slot is not a free lunch character slot, which means that you have a chance of getting access to either Edge or Fasoya, who are, generally speaking, the two sort of major characters in this particular set of flags for their usefulness and power.
Yeah, I'd really like to see someone. Natara is really the only one, and I believe Prism can do it right now as well. So it'd be really interesting to see someone make a dive into that right now. We see Night Dew kind of doing some inventory management right now in Land of the Summoned Monsters. Couch is trying to fill out his party at the moment as well.
Yeah, Prism Phoenix has finished up getting the Hook and is cleaning out the armory over here in Fabul, and then Natara has just climbed Ordeals and found the second copy of Dark Knight Cecil, pining for, the power at the top of the mountain.
I mean, that's a convenient spot for Cecil. If you're already going to climb up here, if you only had Tella and you were climbing up here because you were desperate for items, I mean, that'd be a really nice spot to find Cecil. Pretty sure we already had him, though.
We did, but it's, it's the thing, if you don't go into Watery Pass, then you've still got him, which can be very helpful. I think Couch will probably be pretty happy to see that come through when he goes over to Ordeals.
That's true. Couch hasn't stopped at the Watery Pass as of yet, so if Couch ends up going right to Ordeals, that would be quite nice for him.
Yeah, Night Dew made the dip underground while we were not watching him, goes ahead and cleans out the Land of Summoned Monsters, gets the Legend Sword, and is off to do other things underground, most likely. Probably go get himself an Excalibur and a Sylph Cave dive as well, because he's got the pan from earlier in the game.
Yeah, this is going to be a real efficient check from Nightdew, the way he's routed this in. Couch still looking for his final party member, or, you know, 2 party members from now, because Edward. And Edward's Edward.
He is indeed Edward.
We do go ahead and we're seeing Chrism go ahead and do the climb up ordeals. We have a Rubicante fight so early. This is, oh man, this is a rough Rubicante fight.
Yeah, early on with low health, the big thing to remember about Rubicante is that he is able to counter physical attacks with group fire too. So that can really quickly burn out your stamina, so you've got to be very smart with your slow tele group healing to keep everybody alive.
The question I have for you with Rubicante, and I'm not entirely up to date with the physics of how he works, so bear with me here. Mm-hmm. With him, is it any physical attack that he counters with the fire too, or is it any fight command? Because things like jump, Rosa's aim, Young when he can do the power maneuver, do those also initiate that counter?
Yes, to be specific, yes. So it's only the fight command. So jump, for example, will not. Aim will not. Power will not, which can be very useful knowing that you can save yourself a lot of damage and a lot of heartbreak potentially by knowing that that's the case.
Okay, so Chrism is on there. Meanwhile, Natara is doing the other fight, and it's the Elements fight on the other side.
Vanilla Mylan Z, right? Right here on the back of the bridge.
Yeah, sure. He's just got some friends. Couch is doing the play that we thought earlier. He is diving into going to get this Vanilla Edge location. Nightdew is getting his Excalibur in the meantime as well.
Yeah, very interesting routing. Of course, you're going to pick up that Excalibur. Nightdew does have Cecil at this point, so I believe he has Cecil. We should probably double check that. But if he doesn't, Ordeals is just a short walk away. On Natara's side, the elements go away forever, and on Chrism's screen, they have taken apart the threat that is Rubicante.
All right, man, Natara and Chrism are just right there neck and neck. Meanwhile, Couch is bypassing every treasure chest, and it's breaking my heart. And we have a White Mage Rosa.
All right, well, Couch is the happiest runner we've got today. Rosa being the White Mage of choice. It's the one that we want the most. She is able to use the aim command, equip bows, gets Cure 4 really fast. She does all the things you want your White Mage to do.
Did you hear that? All the things you want your White Mage to do. Oh my.
I mean, she is Cecil's girlfriend.
Hey, whatever they do in the privacy of Cecil's bedroom is really none of our business.
A fair point, to be sure. Dwedit is quickly giving us an update on Natara's key item situation, is that at the top of Mount Ordeals was the tower key. The cursed tower key. The thing that I don't know if we really want to see.
Yeah, that's a fetch quest that you really don't want to see. You'd really just be happy with a crystal and maybe a dark crystal right now, so you can start your grind. Call it good.
Yes, but also the tower key does send people to Babel on wild hunts and goose chases and major problematic situations. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. Couch is going to get his Dark Knight Cecil right now, and absolutely swapping him out for Eddie. We do kind of have the Fabul Gauntlet in here. This is horrible.
So they'll be there a while. I don't think we have much to say about that. They're going to hold A for a few minutes. It'll be fine. On the flip side of the coin, Nightdew drops off the Pan quest with Sheila, so gets the 2 key items, one for the first dip and one for the Pan dip. And finds 2 more fetch quests. Finds the Earth Crystal, access to Tower of Zot, finds the Twin Harp, Magnus Cave.
You know, at this point, I'm more excited about Magnus Cave than I am Earth Crystal. I mean, Earth Crystal I love because that means the Troya treasure chest looting is just absolutely amazing. The most efficient treasure chest room in the entire game, I believe. But the Twin Harp is just so much fun.
Absolutely. More likely that they'll end up getting some use out of the Earth Crystal because, you know, again, Edge and Fusoya are still on the table. Fusoya being a big part of strategy that we may get to talk about in a little bit.
Well, I'm hoping so. All right, so Natara is the first one complete with the entirety of Mount Ordeals. It's interesting. We've all kind of condensed onto Mount Ordeals at this point in time, and we're all in various stages.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a spot, though, that I think they need no crystal. Fairly easy, remembering that grinding is a little hard to come by, so we're going to try and get up to the top. Also, Nightdew and Couch, of course, we're going to come here. Cecil and the Excalibur. Yes, I'll take 2, please.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point in time, we know that Cecil is going to be our agility anchor. I can't imagine we're going to ditch him, especially when you know that you have an early Excalibur. So we're going to have to start doing some management of leveling a little bit here. I don't know if we've seen a Dwarf Axe or anything else to kind of manage Cecil's agility as we're getting into the later levels, have we?
There was a Rune Axe, which does not really help us adjust agility. I've seen a Hand Axe floating around, but I have not seen a Cursed Ring or a Dwarf Axe. But we'll get there. Triton, thank you actually for reminding us about this. One of the nice side effects of the item glitch is that you can duplicate items and you can get a stack of 255 of them. This makes Edge a very high priority character because you can duplicate Excalibur and get 255 of them. And you can throw them at things. Throw them at everything, and they do immense amounts of damage per throw.
Oh, that's a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up. You know, without J-Flags, you're not going to be able to do a lot of bursking with Bacchus wines at this point in time. So being able to do things like that is just immensely helpful, knowing that you'll have another damage output option for Edge once you get into the mid to late game.
Yeah, and it's a damage option that can wipe out bosses in a hurry. When you're trying to make good time and get through tough bosses, you know, you can just start flinging swords. It's a great way to go. You see a really dangerous boss in a dangerous spot. A face full of Excalibur is going to get you through. All right, and Couch is the 4th and final runner to see the top of Mount Ordeals at this point.
And it does look like Couch is absolutely doing that Excalibur dupe at this point in time, which makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. Always be prepared. He's like a good speedrunner. He's duping during required combat, so you won't even have to turn on. You won't even have to turn on encounters.
So we've had kind of our party set between the 4 runners, at least at this point. We've not had a whole lot of variation. I mean, Rosa Fertella, we've ditched Edward as soon as we could. Looks like we have a Porum in Baron, which might be an interesting addition here.
Yeah, Porum is our other baseline white mage choice. The other major thing that she does, though, is she also enables twin magic with Hallam. Sometimes it's another way to get through the early game without the J items. Probably not going to be the case here with a little bit more power behind parties, but it is a good way to get started. And Chrism finds the sleeping soldiers fight from the package quest over here in the Baron Inn to start.
All right, so Chrism given our first look here. Meanwhile, Natara looks like is going to be doing a similar check over here into the cave, the hook cave.
Fubble Underground, yes.
But it's not Fubble.
Excuse me, Eblin Underground.
Eblin Underground. Okay,
wow.
I was like, what is the name? Oh my gosh. But, hi there. There's a hidden Golbez.
Ooh. However, Chrism pulls off a really nice piece of timing here in that Golbez is going to kill Chrism's party down to 2 characters at random. Gets no choice in the matter. However, Kane is in the air and doesn't count for this. So Kane's going to be able to come down in a moment and end up getting demolished anyway. Well, the timing of that was really poor. Never mind. Kane's an idiot, and so am I.
Oh, so you're stuck. Oh, Chrism is stuck with Teleridia for his Golbez fight. That's horrible.
Tella may be able to get a life spell off, but we're about to watch Golbez nuke their party down in a moment. We're probably going to be having to, we'll see how this goes. However, having Tella alive after Ordeals is good because Tella's got a whole pile of spell power right now.
I mean, that's something. We're going to get a Lit 3 in and a virus, maybe. Man, he's butt clenching this one out.
Fight with Rydia instead of raising another character. I don't know if I agree with that play. She gets a lightning bolt for 265 and is dropped down to her knees.
And another fight with Palin? What is going on here? And he does it! Oh, wow.
All right, and so Chris and Dave have taken down Golbez right now and is going to go and get access to their White Mage, which will make them one happy racer at this point.
I mean, that's not the easiest White Mage to get, knowing what we know that where Rosa is. Still, I mean, if you need a White Mage, you're absolutely... And what? Chrism is ditching Rydia.
So, in my own opinion, I think that's the right call. Desperately in need of the White Mage, Rydia scales very slowly, while Palom already has viruses 4 levels away from learning Quake, which, if ever you want to see a spell that carries the mid-game, level 23 Quake is going to be the way to go. Also, I know Chrism's got a little tech in their back pocket with Tella, so I definitely understand what's going on there.
That's fair. I mean, I guess instinctively, I look at Tella and I go, unless I need an agility anchor, I ditch him as soon as I can, but I can understand it in these particular flags, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, Chrism buys their pass, which is good. So do we want to talk about grind strats for a sec? Because I can tell you why Tella is a priority character for Chrism, and was in practice as well.
Oh, absolutely, because you mentioned this earlier, and now I understand why he did it, so please, elucidate us.
So the major thing here is that for the grind, you've got options. Those options are not your J-Item options, though, so Yellow Dragon's off the table. So you're going to either go with Doors with the Luca Key, which, with glitches on, I don't think you want to do. Who wants to really dive down a sealed cave when you can take 3 seconds, cast Warp, and get yourself an item? However, Tella has access to the Weak spell. And if anybody is familiar with the Final Fantasy IV speedrun for No 64, there's a grind spot in the Giant of Babel where you will be able to summon a pile of dragon machines, D-machines, hit them with weak, kill them, and then throw life potions at them. And with the way that items work, when you resurrect an enemy with a life potion, it resurrects them with 0 health, killing them again. Now, you can take advantage of this to get a massive pile of levels very quickly and very safely. And with MP underflow on, you can have unlimited magic while you're doing it.
That is, and especially, you know, there's only a handful of ways to do grinds with these particular set of flags, particularly without the J flags. there's no sirens. So if you don't know the D Machine grind with these set of flags, you're in for kind of a world of hurt at that point.
Absolutely. The D Machine grind is a fantastic grind to learn. I highly recommend that if you want to run this game, that you pick up something a little bit more than my beloved dragons. I saw Chrism running the D Machine grind in practice, and it was excellent.
Natara having some issues with these ogres, and opts to do a hard reset there. Says, I may not open that treasure chest again.
Yeah, the major thing is Natara never stopped off with Edward in Toroya, so she is using the hook right now. She did not find the magma key. Our other three runners are taking the time to very effectively move from location to location in the overworld, picking up key items as they go.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult right there. Chrism does end up showing us the Drain Sword, which is another one of those agility-lowering items that you can equip Cecil with. So that's a nice pickup there if you don't end up finding the Dwarf Axe.
Yeah, and an even better thing is that if you switch off of the Drain Sword after taking a swing with it during the Zeromus fight, and then switch weapons afterwards, you maintain the Drain effect. So Cecil can keep himself alive for a very long time.
So here's Couch. I believe Couch also has the Earth Crystal, so this is going to be a fairly lucrative spot, and I believe our first check over here into the large treasure trove that is the Troya basement. I mean, these treasures I think we've opened, but there's one other area we haven't taken a look at yet.
Absolutely. So on Chrism's stage, they found the Dark Knight Cecil fight. Here they are at the end of Fubble Castle, or at the end of Baron Castle, excuse me. Gonna get the message that you must not fight now because free lunch is on. I think they're a little committed to getting the kill at this point, however.
Now, I haven't... Help me out here. It's only with the K2 flag that all of those freebie fights are turned off. Is that right? Or what are the flags that turn those off?
All right, yeah, you do have that right. So to talk about the free lunch flag, even though it's not here today, the first rank of the free lunch, or the no free lunch flag, the N flag, removes the characters from Mysidia, from... I've got a list here, of course. From Mysidia, from the top of Ordeals, the single character in Damison, the single character in Watery Pass, all gone. But that's really the only effect that it has. It's no free lunch 2 that also makes all of the bosses required kills. It also adds in, it also takes the key item away from Edward in both options, so you would have to kill the Mist Dragon potentially for a key item. Speaking of the Mist Dragon, we can see that Night Dew is in the Dwarf Castle and has found the Mist Dragon.
Oh, this is a rough spot for Mist Dragon, isn't it? Because he kind of hits like a truck here.
He is fairly fast and is going to hit fairly hard, so that's going to be pretty rough right now. Especially with Rosa with no levels, which means no access to Blink, which would give you, 100% physical evasion from attacks.
That was a one-shot on Kane that you just saw on Night Dew's side, which, ow.
Yeah, absolutely. So Couch has decided to hit up the Tower of Zot, Batasia. Any reason why you think he's up here at the top of this tower?
Tower of Zot, I mean, there's a key item that's going to be up here, but more importantly, there's two characters, and, Vanilla Sisters. I gotta think he's fishing for more characters, maybe trying to level up a little bit. Or, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this will be his 10th key item.
That will help a lot with leveling. I might also be looking to try and trade up on Tella, turn Tella into Fusoya. Go with the better all mage. So Crimson Phoenix is finishing up Baron Castle, kills off Pale Dim, the king dragon, king of all dragons today. and will be rewarded with a character and a key item for their troubles here.
All right, so Chrism, what are you giving us? And it's just another Porum.
Well, we got a white mage.
I mean, we had a white mage, but sure, why not? I think the key item here is just a little bit more important.
Absolutely. Taking a very conservative tack through this run, checking every overworld spot available to them before going underground, accepting that they don't have the magma key yet because they still haven't talked to Edward.
The fact that still haven't talked to Edward yet, I mean, I can understand missing it, I suppose, if you're not accustomed to free lunch being available.
Yeah. And finds the rat tail in Baron.
So that's a fetch quest.
Is there anything at this point that's not a fetch quest?
Spoon.
I mean, I guess Crystal's not a fetch quest, I guess.
Yeah, Crystal's not a fetch quest, and the spoon's not a fetch quest. I mean, that's all I got for you.
And so Couch has killed the middle of the Mega Sisters and is going to wrap up this fight pretty quickly. Reason being that the middle Mega Sister is the crux of the Delta attack and also can res the other two sisters. Night Dew finishes off the Baron Guards in Dwarf Castle location, so is looking to get their hands on two key items here, one from Dwarf Castle and one from doing a little bit of a glitching.
This will be our first look into what the glitch item is, and this is available in the vanilla game as well over here on Night Dew's side. If you have a character like Rydia who can cast Warp, you cast it as soon as you leave this crystal room. Don't take a step. Just cast Warp immediately. You will warp back into the crystal room, and the crystal will be back there just like it would be in the crystal room in the sealed cave.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so what do we get for our rat tail today?
Spoon!
It's not a fetch quest.
It's not a fetch quest. But we're seeing a sand ruby as our extra item over here. And we're seeing a Palem up in Tower of Zot. Who's our second character? It is a Young. Don't know if you're going to trade anyone out for that.
That's a very interesting call here. But no power characters yet. That means that it looks like they're going to be locked up. They're going to be locked away deep on the moon. Oh my! And
what?
What? All right, that is a call. Wow.
That's brass right there. Cecil, adds consistency to a lot of different things. Although, if you're committed to keeping Atella, knowing he has low agility and he can be your agility anchor, that's interesting. I don't know. I really don't know.
That is definitely an intriguing call. As a couple of people in chat are definitely pointing out, it does give agility anchoring options. So the idea is that it kind of does give you that ability to control your agility on your party better rather than being locked into Cecil. Especially with probably the routing to D-Machine grind that you would be over-leveling a little bit.
Now, off the top of my head, I don't know what level you're looking to get Tella, or if his agility even raises at all as you're leveling him. So I honestly don't know, kind of off the top of my head. You can say, Cecil 54, 55, Sid, mid-40s for his agility kind of spots. But do you know off the top of your head what you're aiming for Tella?
I mean, for Tella never gets above 10. Tella's agility drops off over time as well, so he is, just going to keep on going down. So we've got Knight Dew and Natara, by the way, high-fiving as well in Tower of Babel while we are talking about this. But Tella's not a great agility anchor because you want a character at a multiple of 14, and he never gets that high.
Oh, Couch is in trouble. He's considering something. We have the bomb explosions kills off most of his party.
And if they are able to kill off Palom again, they may start exploding and wiping his party out. He's going to start raising characters up and is probably going to hope that they start self-destructing very slowly.
It's been a little bit since I've seen Couch save, so this will be an interesting play.
I'm hoping that Couch saved at the top of the tower because that would be very helpful. Chrism is cleaning out the treasury in Evelyn Castle right now. Going to try and get a little bit more experience. Couch has to take a reset there. That explosion just smashed through his party. Not what you want to see.
Yeah, that was super, super rough right there. Meanwhile, we have a dancing spark in Night Dew's area, and we're blessed with a wyvern.
All right, and we're going to get a high-speed wyvern, so we're about to see some nukes start flying. But Rosa, with the Artemis arrows, is going to carry this fight. The Dragon Whip and Artemis arrows do quadruple damage to dragons. Wyvern, being the queen of all dragons, will die pretty quickly.
Well, if Rosa survives that long, this is a little bit clinching a little. So Cecil's gonna take a death here, or not.
No, not the highest of magic attack here. So things still dicey. We'll kill any other character in one shot, however.
A little bit confused that opted to use Rosa for a life instead of attacking, because as you said, that's a high attack power character.
All right, we've got Natara. Natara getting a little bit of grind on here in the Babel Tower, which I don't blame her. Get some quick levels. These are good experience packs with the balloons as well. And she is definitely demonstrating the ability to get some mid-game experience, 10,000 points at a time, which is really good.
Absolutely. It's a little bit depressing knowing that we know where that magnet key is, and it'd be a whole lot easier to go another route, but still not losing a ton of time on Natara's side.
All right, Couch is in for round 2 against the mother of all bombs. Knight Dew has figured out that Rosa does 4,000 damage a shot, pulls the trigger.
Whew, that was a great fight there by Knight Dew.
Absolutely, and it's going to end up getting 2 key items for their trouble, one from the top of the tower and one at the bottom for turning in the tower key.
And the darkness crystal, so if we didn't already have the pass, that would be our access there already. We might see, if he's not happy with his party, going ahead and leaving. I think he's going to be all right, though.
So we've got rock sightings.
I was going to say, do you want to explain what we just saw over there on Couch's end?
Couch has an MP underflowed Tella. Tella normally only has 90 MP, so normally does not have access to the 99 magic points that he needs to cast Meteo. It's a plot device in the main game. But here, with MP underflow, you can cast anything that your heart desires.
That explosion is crushing him every time.
Are we going to see the Final Fantasy 1 strategy against Chaos? Are we going to see Whole Day and Pray? I would be down for that at this point.
Well, I don't know if about Whole Day. I would absolutely keep jumping.
Oh, and there it is. We've got it. The Cursed Tower key leads us to the crystal. Night Dew, 10 key items, Darkness Crystal, Crystal in tow. Is it time? Are we going to see some grind? Is it go mode?
Yeah, this is the grind now. Knowing that that's what ended up happening, going to take a quick cabin, a little bit faster, get your Darkness Crystal, at least to unlock getting the big whale. That will unlock the Giant of Babel to our grind spot.
There is only one concern at this point in time, and it'll probably be rectified by the character to the moon. Night Dew does not have a weak caster right now.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Did he ditch Tella?
I believe he did at the first opportunity. Just checking his party when he was menuing with that cabin. Couch has taken out the mother of all bombs this time, second time through. Again, jump and pray. Ends up working in his favor, so he's going to get out of here in one piece.
All right, Chrism is also going through the Sylph Cave right now. We've seen this in some other runners, so doing very well here.
Yep, gonna get in some pan swings. Natara is still working on the other half of Babel, trying to get, or the above ground half, trying to get some levels in to be able to fight the two bosses here, so she can have underground access finally. And Couch is dropping off the Baron key and is gonna go through Baron Underground.
Night Dew doing our last prayer for his character who can cast weak.
And we got our fingers crossed. Are we going to see Vanilla Fusoya today?
Well, he also has a Sand Ruby that he can possibly turn in if he really wants to. No! A third Cecil!
The wrong Lunarian shows up on the moon. Maybe Night Dew's got a different plan for grinding, I don't know.
I don't know if he has... Oh, he's going to grind on the moon, looks like.
That is a good play. Scala Kitty pointing out in chat that Sand Ruby was Edward. Thank you very much for that. I think we, with the commentators missed that on the run. We didn't see anybody go in there. But yeah, Edward, not the character you want to see.
Ever? Do we ever want to see an Edward? Ever?
Nope. That means that Fusoya and Edge were behind the package and behind the Giant. So, not today, everybody.
All right, so Night Dew going to start his grind over here, and it's a little bit rough in the early going, I would say.
Yeah, characters are still a little on the low side in terms of levels. You don't have a big summon for Rydia, so she's not going to do a ton of damage. It's going to be a slow starter. Quake will help clean things up a little bit. Speaking of Quake, Natara has started to uncork the earth against these Dark Imps, but they are hitting for immense amounts of damage right now.
Yeah, this particular location does have a high attack, I believe, especially with the levels. I think she's even a little under-leveled at this point.
Yeah, decent agility, good attack power, 3 swings per turn. The Dark Imps can dismantle an unprepared party without a doubt. Things we only say in Randomizer, everybody. The Dark Imps are pushovers normally.
We've said stranger things. Let's be realistic here.
This is true. I did want to mention something. Chrism, when they finished up Sylph Cave, did something that I know was a little shout out to me, knowing that I'm on commentary, which is go and talk to all 4 of the Sylphs. It's a habit of mine. It's a thing that I do. So, thank you very much, my friend.
All right, so here comes more grinding from Night Dew at this point in time, and this isn't bad experience here. It's not probably what you want to see. It's not horrible though.
It'll definitely get you there. They are 35,000 experience and encounter with 10 key items, which is nothing to which is definitely not a slouch. Natara has finished up getting her underground access. She has She has taken out the Dark Imps with Quake and is going to re-underflow Tella at this point. Definitely a good fight on her part, getting through that with the four shots of Quake. All right, Batasia, so where do we go from here?
Well, obviously, we know that these runners need to get their behinds eventually over to the tower. And it was in the Lugae spot, so we don't even necessarily need the key, if I read that correct.
I think you have that one flipped. We did need the key, but we got it.
Okay.
But we got it nice and early. All of our runners have the tower key from Mount Ordeals from that climb. The Lugae spot, however, had the Dark Crystal, so that's going to be access to grind for a lot of people.
Okay, that's fair. So doubling up on those, we really need to get there relatively quickly. I'm worried that one of these runners is going to be debated into that Twin Harp run. Couch right now is the only one with the Twin Harp itself, but we're seeing Chrism get both the Earth and the Twin Harp right now. It'd be real interesting to see if we end up seeing that here before too long.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, with the levels, it might, searching still for Crystal and Darkness Crystal, there's many options out there on the table.
Absolutely. It's just kind of an efficiency check at this point in time. And in that Troya spot with both Earth Crystal and Twin Harp, it makes it slightly attractive. And Chrism's heading that direction.
The hunt for characters continues. We know that Edge and Fusilier are both off the table on this seed, but they are going for it anyways. Couch is going to drop off the rat tail and be, I guess, rewarded with a spoon.
I could hear the quotation marks around rewarded when you said that.
There were also quotation marks around spoon.
That's a good point. Is it actually a spoon?
I'm not sure what kind of kitchen implement it is at this point.
Gordon Ramsay lops him, a thumb off with a Vorpal spoon that he found in a fantasy setting.
It's a tough way to go. That figure's never gonna grow back. Chad is chiming in. Scala thinks it's a spoon knife. Seeker42 thinks it's 100% actually a spoon. I'm gonna actually end this right now, everybody. It's a spork.
Does spork not translate that well from English to Japanese? Is that why they said it was a spoon and it was part of that horrible early J2E translation that didn't work too well?
The translation of Final Fantasy IV is an absolute miracle and a heck of a story. Definitely one worth reading up on. We are hitting the hour mark at this point, Batasia.
Yeah, this is where things start getting silly. I mean, not that they haven't been silly at all, but
Nope, not us.
Not at all.
Completely serious 100% of the time. I don't think they're buying it.
No, they're not. No, I can feel Shala Kitty's stare from here. All right, so Night Dude continues his grind. This is unfortunately kind of a slow grind because of the lack of weak that we can use. Although Night Dude is the first to start his grind, so that's worth noting that he's got kind of a jump start on folks at this point in time. Meanwhile, Chrism is in Tower of Zot. Natara is just now getting to the underground, and Couch is fighting a dragon made of mist.
Well, maybe not fighting right now, just gonna be watching, waiting, hoping.
praying. Hurry up. Switch back, please. And chat is answering our questions. It was kitchen knife or chef's knife, which, as someone who has a brother who is a professional chef, those things are totally sharp, and I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the one thing you want in your kitchen is a really good knife. That's the first thing. So Couch's Berserk Yang is punching the air. It's training.
Punching the air, yes. That's exactly what it's doing.
While Night Dew continues to grind away, Chrism has found the Mom Bomb with about similar hit points and party comp to Couch at that time when Couch was at the top of the tower, so hopefully the explosion doesn't wipe out their chances of finishing this fight. Alright, Natara coming back to Fabul is going to do the pan drop off now and get the 2 key items here. Is going to find her fetch quest that we know don't lead anywhere, but she does not know that at this point. You know, Magnus being, I think, the 1 key item we haven't seen yet, which is the package.
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested about that because we've determined that either Edge or Fusoya is behind that package. Where is it at this point in time? Is it in Sealed Cave? We haven't dove there yet?
So a Sealed Cave was the Sand Ruby from the Warp Glitch. The only items I don't think we've seen yet are the package and the Pink Tail. One of them accessible through Earth, and I'm trying to make sure I've got my list in order so I can remember where the last spot is that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I just don't know at this point in time. I am... Oh, we haven't seen Twin Heart. Right.
Right, and that's either going to be package or Pink Tail. Neither of which will lead to a key item. Trying to think about what key item location that we're missing. This is gonna make me feel bad for a while.
Yeah, I know. I'm completely.
Pen and paper tracking fails me. Alright, Chrism's gonna find the Mist Dragon alongside, running side by side with Couch, who is taking on the Baron Guards down below here at the second boss fight of Dwarf Castle. Julison asks, have they gotten both items from Sheila? Yes, they've gotten the Twin Harp and the Earth Crystal for their troubles. And we know that the Earth Crystal leads to the Luca Key. Billbotics asks, was Crystal under Mist Dragon? No, Crystal was not under Mist Dragon at all. I mean, it's a free lunch active anyhow, so we're not going to get that item. But the Crystal was located at the Tower Key location in Tower of Babel. So the loop that we were running to finish this out was Ordeals to Center Tower location to Crystal. Batasia's gonna kill me. I don't know where one of the key items is.
You know what? I don't know either, and that's what I feel worst about, is that I feel like I'm failing in this capacity.
Clearly haven't been running this enough that to remember where everything is.
I gotta do more runs. That's what it comes down to, is clearly we need more runs. While we're talking about tracking, I do want to give a shout out to Neon Gray doing all of our tracking for us. Thank you so much. Keeping track of all the items as they display here on the screen for you guys.
Yeah, they've had to do a lot of work today. We've seen a lot of key items at this point, so, thank you so much again, Neon.
Did I ever say that you're my hero?
I'm smiling. So...
Yeah, so Couch does have indeed the package. It was the item that we unlocked. And Couch sees that it's Fusoya and says, I'm good. Which, really?
That's Couch's pretty standard strat at this point, so it's going to skip out on that. But yeah, so that means that the pink tail is going to be the item at the bottom of the Twin Harp Cave. Yes, Supremacy, he did it first. It is actually slightly faster to do it first. It saves a few steps.
Save the frames! Couch is now checking all these last-second locations.
I'm not sure. I guess he's looking for Edge to use those 255 Excaliburs, and he's about to realize that there's only one place left with a character, and that is behind the Giant of Babel.
Yeah, we're not at quite a 17-17 seed, but it's close.
There's some potential here. But Couch is gonna get the Couch is about to get their access to the endgame. Gonna start climbing the tower.
It does look like, meanwhile, Nightdew is done grinding and is setting things up in order to be able to do go down, use the pass, and go through. I think it's faster. I think I timed it at about 3 minutes if you run through straight, but if you head down with the pass, it's a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's a safety mechanism in case of failure. The Zeromus fight is not free by any stretch of the imagination, and if it goes wrong, then you're going to want to have a safety valve. All right, Couch is doing the tower key spot right now, so is going to go ahead and take out Volvalis. Likely to finish the climb to the top for safety's sake. Prism Phoenix in exactly the same location, step for step right now.
Yeah, only just a boss fight behind. That's it. Very impressive work so far, and I think same item pool at this point in time. I think roughly the same levels too.
Yeah, no, it's been like watching two runners in a mirror. It's been really impressive work there. They're both making really good time. Nightdew, however, is making the best time of us all as he's going to use the pass and get us started with the end game. We're about to set our first eyes on Zeromus tonight.
So what are you hoping Z-Man is going to be?
Considering the amount of FF1 I've been playing, I'm a big fan of RNGomus. I like having him on my side, though.
Well, we're going to get an early check here. Well, not early, but... so let's talk Agility Anchor for Wilhawk to explain things.
All right, so talking advanced mechanics for a second. So battle speed is based upon either the speed of Cecil in the normal vanilla game, or of course in Free Enterprise, but if Cecil's not in your party, it's based on the agility of your center character. Now, you usually want your agility to be a multiple of 14, because what happens there is that maximizes the amount of turns that your characters are going to get relative to Zeromus. There's a calculator on our Discord server. There's a link to it, which you can go and get. It's a great resource and will help you kind of see that. But the idea is it allows you to maximize your effectiveness in this fight by maximizing the number of abilities that you get to use. When you're off cycle on that, when you're at, say, 21, for example, Zeromus is a lot faster, gets a lot more turns in terms of relative speed, which makes him a much, much more dangerous fight.
Meanwhile, we have Akumas from Street Fighter.
right? Big Bang is now the Raging Demon and makes the screen go dark. Alright, and Couch has Tella, Chrism has Tella, Couch has Wyvern, Chrism has Wyvern. They're both about to probably start doing the D-Machine grind in a couple of minutes, so we'll get back to them. Natara is finishing off Baron Castle, but how is that fight going? We've got Berserks going out onto the fighter characters to get us started. We are gonna see our first Big Bang. Rydia's going to die.
Rip Rydia. Pela may not even survive.
No, we got the clean nerf. We're good. We're good.
So it is to nerf the Big Bang. I know Zeromus shakes, you cast a spell on him. Is it that simple?
In an ideal world. So what ends up happening here is, yes, in an ideal world, it's Chrism taking a reset on Wyvern in the bye, and did not have a safety save on floor 7, so it's going to have to climb the full tower a second time, just as a note. But getting back to the Big Bang, yes, normally it's you shake, Zeromus casts Nuke, which reduces his magic power, all of his damage output being magical, and then the Big Bang goes off shortly thereafter, doing that reduced amount of damage. There are a couple of phase transitions in the Zeromus fight, which causes some problems with that. For example, when Zeromus gets to half health, the game fills up his health in the background, but it also resets the state of the Big Bang nerf. So if the Big Bang goes off at that point, you die. Well, you take full damage at least, which is upwards of 2,000 damage per character, potentially. But it usually works out, but sometimes it doesn't. It's a little bit of RNG, and it makes the runners a little bit nervous sometimes.
Well, it looks like we're slightly underleveled. Looks like mid to late 40s here. Although I did see Rosa getting white, so we may have hit right around 50 or so.
Yeah, and without J-Items, it takes less time. Rydia gets Nuke at 50 instead of 55, and Rosa gets white a little bit faster as well. But yeah, we're in the mid-40s right now, and the reason for that is that if you're a good runner, you're going to push your limits a little bit here. But Palom drops from that last Big Bang. It was not nerfed, so hurting for certain.
Yeah, does take it full, and then a black hole, so the bursts that we had gotten out on our fighters is reset. They'll get one more round, but otherwise, okay, here comes some nukes. So this is kind of a later phase at this point in time for Zeromus.
Yeah, we've got Nuke on Rosa, which is a thing that you never want to see. It's going to use the safety elixir to keep her at 100% health. Couch is going to go and find a dragon at this point. Right, and Chrism Phoenix goes and gets the middle item from the tower, so he's going to get the crystal without the darkness crystal at this point, so he's not going to get their grind spot, but is going to get their crystal. That's a second full Big Bang, but you know, with everybody at 2,400 plus health, they're all able to survive. It's just going to be a matter now of getting off some heals on the party to keep them going.
Absolutely, so it's going to be just a pretty standard rotation. Heal, fight, fight.
Mm-hmm. Rosa was able to get one Berserk off onto Cecil first, so that Excalibur is swinging at high speed, which is great. Cure 4 going off before Big Bang with 3 characters means it's going to heal for nearly the full amount, which is great. We've got Safety Cure 2 from Kane. Kane is not even fighting at this point, which is safe.
That still hurts a little bit there. At this point, you're probably hoping, and there's another black hole negating Cecil's burst. You're really hoping, and you're probably most worried about that last Meteo phase coming almost immediately after, because at these low healths, a Meteo that followed a Big Bang can really do some damage. But there it is.
Yep, and so Nightdew is looking pretty strong here. We're probably going to cast one more Cure 4 for safety and take us home.
that Meteo is indicative of kind of the final phase of Z. So we're just about getting done here.
Yep, rocks fall, nobody dies. It's what you want to see at the end of this fight. We've got an X-Cal swing for 36-14. We've got an Axe swing for 15-57. We're seeing this come very close to the end.
And there it is. The Flash. With Night Dew finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 28 seconds. GG Night Dew in first place to complete this race. Well done.
Yeah, absolute pleasure to see that run going off. 1:13.28, a great time from a great runner. This is Night Dew's second win in the weeklies, so good on him for that. Again, he has been really doing a lot of work, and it's showing. So we'll see how that goes going forward.
Meanwhile, Chrism ends up finding Rosa and is dismissing Telha for that. There goes that grind possibility for Chrism.
Yeah, did not get the Darkness Crystal at the top of the tower, so it's likely that they are going to go and start casting Quake at Silk Cave for a while. So they'll be at it a little bit. They also have access to the Luca Key, so hopefully they're going to do what Couch is doing and go do doors, which is a very efficient way to get experience as well.
Yeah, I think the most inefficient thing about doors is having to walk out is probably the worst part of it all.
Thankfully, warp works. You can warp out, which is fantastic. So, all right, Natara with the Earth Crystal in hand, probably going to go ahead up onto Zot and try and find some characters as well. Also has to talk to Edward, and this is going to sting a little bit, Natara. I'm so sorry.
Wah, 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 wah. And can't believe it. Can't believe it. Just sitting there.
And there's the boss.
You can hear, if you're really quiet, you can hear Natara screaming from here.
So very quickly, speaking of good runners who post some really good times here, we do have a second place finisher now, Nirm, crossing the line at 1:15.56. GG Nirm, another excellent finish as well.
Oh, we're getting Natara doing Magnus Cave. We're going to get a sneak peek. This is what kind of something we alluded to a little bit earlier. When you have the Twin Harp and you have to do Magnus Cave, Edward's song to weaken the elf is another thing that's randomized.
All right, it looks like we've got Night Dew pulling into the Discord in just a moment, so we can get that interview going.
And joining us now, Night Dew, our winner, GG. Testing. Testing, 1, 2.
Night Dew is probably taking a moment to get their microphone up and running, so just give them a second.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll be able to preview what Edward's song will be for us today.
Absolutely, always a pleasure. One of my favorite Easter eggs in this randomizer, to be sure.
Absolutely. It's the only good thing that Edward does. Let's be realistic here about this.
All right, Edward, we ain't got all day.
You'd think a nurse would be able to just like carry the harp to him. It's fine.
Seems like a lot of work.
Maybe. Is this Chrono Trigger?
This is Chrono Trigger.
Oh, this is the the floating Black Omen.
This is Black Omen, yes. I couldn't pick that one up from you go.
With an Ogopogo at the end of it. Oh.
Yeah, so still, that's a great track. Ogopogo hitting with Big Wave, which does 25% of your health, doing it twice, which does sting a fair bit. All right, and Couch and Chrism are deep in grind territory right now, trying to get some work done here.
Yeah, Chrism looks like is grinding over here in Sylph Cave, which is not the best grind spot, but not the worst. Couch, I think, with a little bit more efficient grind spot.
Yeah, Sylph Cave is a spot that you can grind, but it definitely falls into the when all else fails category, and I think for Chrism at this point, all else has failed.
All right, Night Dew is able to hear us. Feel free, Night Dew, are you with us? Pretty please. I promise I have nothing but good things to say about you. You don't have to be shy. All right, we're still having a couple issues, so we're gonna keep following this awesome music. You know, if Natara has done nothing else after that particular Edward play, at the very least, she has gifted us with this wonderful music.
It is so pleasing. Third time's the charm? Alright, Ogopogo is down after catching a couple blaze counters, which happens when you cast magic on Ogopogo. It's going to get her pink tail in just a moment.
Yeah, this is... feels bad, man.
Gets adamant armor. It's not the worst thing.
Alright, so Night Dew's actually not going to chat with us for a bit. Is going to be we'll be talking with you guys in chat, so make sure to bug him about all of his favorite strats and other inappropriate things that we can't talk about here.
We talk so much about grinding, though.
I mean, not the fun grinding. The I've got to beat the game grinding.
All eggs must die.
It's true.
Alright, and Nirm will not be in with us either, so we're going to keep on commentating at this point in time.
So right now, it's just kind of a... it's kind of a straight line race right now between Couch and Chrism. Between these two, whoever gets to the end first, and Tella is staying dead. Do you think Couch has kind of a nice spot for Tella for the Agi anchor?
Probably sitting around 14 and is very dead right now. 62,000 experience per door, so gets life 2 on Rosa. You know, having levels on Palom would be nice as well. Maybe just going to go with 3-man White Mage Force strats in a minute. Yep, and Chrism is trying to be a little bit judicious about the encounters that they take. They're looking for Morbles, which is the correct play. They are the highest experience encounter in the Sylph Cave. They give in these with the double experience. They give 20,000 experience apiece.
Yeah, that's really nice in terms of that. And really, the only thing they do, I mean, you'd feel a whole lot better if you had an adamant armor or some sort of item that would protect you from the Morble's real issue, which is, you know, status effects. But doing all right now.
Yep. Couch hammering away on the doors. Natara is headed over to head back underground. And in heading underground, it's going to be next stop Dwarf Castle for her. So working her way through each of the key item spots as she goes, party around level 25.
Yeah, it's not... I don't want to say Natara is necessarily in a bad spot. I think the major mistake, of course, was that Magma Key being there on Edward is just rough. Otherwise, Natara's been doing fine. Put herself in a more challenging spot than she needed to, but otherwise, still doing very well.
Yep. Grism dealing with some back attacks in Sylph Cave. Couch is in the mid-40s in terms of levels right now. Definitely needs a little bit more health on Rosa, for sure, for the Rosa Yang Kane trilogy to survive. Knight Dew mentioning that he would have probably tossed Rydia for Edge, but Edge was nowhere to be found today. Was taking the day off at the back of the Giant of Babel. All right, Chrism burning a cabin here to get their resources refilled. Floating around level 39 right now. Couch is again hitting right around level 45 at this point, so doors are definitely a little bit quicker here for sure. And Natara on Miss Dragon right now, so working her way through the Dwarf Castle bosses at this point. So Vitasia, pretty big gap between second and third right now. Is that kind of indicative of a bit of a skill gap in the field at this point, or what does this kind of mean to us at this point as commentators and as observers?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's a complicated subject.
That's fair. Alright, Natara's gonna get ready to unload on the Miss Dragon, one more volley, and we should be in some pretty good shape here. So she should be taking down this dragon in just a moment. Rose is definitely not allowed to stay dead for Couch, because she is the character that needs the levels the most.
All right, so we're in the late 40s right now. Yeah, Tella's sitting pretty there at 37.
Yeah, Tella's going to be alive long enough to get off, alive probably to get off one burst and then die pretty horrifically during the first Big Bang. All right, and Natara is going to dismiss Sid from the Dwarf Castle, as everybody else has done as well.
I do like some Sid grinds, though. Like, when you have a Sid, Tella doesn't feel quite as necessary. Granted, I think at this point, Kane is equipped with the only rune axe we've really found up to this point in time, so it wouldn't be great. But if you've already ditched Cecil, Sid would be a nice little addition because he can get that lower agility that others can't.
Yep, and it looks like Couch is capital D done with grinding and is wandering back out, so we're going to see Couch on the Zeromus fight in a couple of minutes here. Going to be pretty happy with the party around level 48 on average, with, life 2, cure 4 on Rosa, and enough hit points to survive an unnerfed Big Bang most of the time. Alright, Chris, I'm pushing out into the 40s and levels now, which is great. Natara's going to get her package in Sand Ruby in just a moment.
Well, the package will at least lead her to a possible Fusoya, which is a very nice addition with the levels that she has gotten up to this point in time.
Absolutely. We'll assist her with transitioning out into the endgame, grinding Darkness Crystal. Crystal in the tower will definitely be the kind of good times all the way around. And Couch is going to be pulling Zeromus around 129.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, we've still only had 2 runners complete at this point in time. This was a seed that really wasn't terribly kind to these runners. Night Dew, made relatively quick work of it, but Couch is still doing very well. All of our runners are really doing well. I think a lot of people have been practicing with the league flags and preparing for it.
Yeah, they make you strong for sure. Speaking of finishers, however, we do have a third-place finisher tonight. We've got Ravlin crossing the line, one of the newer names in races, with an excellent time of 1:29.34 as an official SRL time. So GG Ravlin, very nice run tonight.
Absolutely, GG Ravlin.
All right, Couch doing the thing. And he is off and starting the main Zeromus fight now at 1 hour and 30 minutes.
I'm really going to be tempted. I'm going to be counting big bangs that Zeromus gets off with this Telestrat, knowing that he's optimized Tele right at that 14 Agi spot. This is going to be very nicely done, I think.
Yeah, the flip side of the coin is that, Kane is a fire spear.
Yeah, but at this point, you don't... Young is going to be your main damage source at this point.
Absolutely. Swinging away for 2,500 to 3,000 a shot is definitely no slouch. All right, Natara's in the Tower of Babel now, so she is going to get her way out of this run. She's going to find her crystal soon enough. All right, and Couch does not get the first nerf off and is immediately on 3-character strats to get this started.
Not great, but not horrible. All 3 of these runners, or characters that he's got, will be able to eat an unnerfed Big Bang at this point in time. And with that Tela, you may not have a ton of Big Bangs you have to eat.
Yeah, Couch going to play safe, cast another Cure 4 before the Shake, so keeping the party topped up to the fullest. Rosa going down to a Big Bang, of course, would be a disaster. Alright, and Prism is getting into the mid-40s in levels right now, so they keep quaking those trees, ripping them down, 44,000 experience. Nuke's a little ways away at 52, so we'll see if they decide to go all the way with that or not.
There's that second Big Bang, and everyone survives it.
Landing for around 1,800 per character, so Cure 4 should go off and keep the team running nice and smooth one more time.
Yeah, the big danger for Couch right now is going to be hitting that phase 3 almost immediately after a Big Bang before Rosa can get another Cure 4 off. So we hit Big Bang and Meteo back to back. That's the major danger right now, and I don't anticipate it happening, but weirder things have happened.
Many good runners have lost many runs to that, so it's a thing worth noting. Very scary possibility. Also potentially does lose this run, or at least get into a lot of trouble. I mean, if there's a nuke on Rosa before Black Hole. but playing it very safe, very calm, waits on Rosa with the 2 Zerkers swinging away, and then gets off a Cure 4 to keep everybody in tip-top condition.
Yeah, Couch is looking for a strong finish here. Chrism still finishing up the grind with more bulls.
Obviously a good pull, and we've got Natara facing off against the Queen of All Dragons right now. I'm going to start getting off some Berserks and the like. There's Black Hole, so Berserks are down on Kain and Yang. Not ideal, but you'll take what you get when you get it.
Yeah, we've got to be getting close to phase 3 right now for Zeromus, so not horribly worried. Taking a risk and going ahead and... oh, there's a nuke on Rosa! Uh-oh.
I bring the commentator's curse, but she survives. It's only going to hit for 1,500. We've got the safety Cure 3 from Kain, though, going to keep her on her feet. So very good thinking on Couch's part. Chrism has decided that level 48 is more than enough right now, and so going to roll up to the... save your game, Chrism. Gonna roll up.
Save his game, did he?
They did not save their game, no.
Right. My fault.
No worries. So they're going to roll up, though, at about 135. We've got rocks falling on Couch's screen, so that's good times all the way around for Couch.
And there's the flash.
All right, GG Couch, official SRL time, 4th place, 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 30 seconds. A very solid run.
It's absolutely GG Couch, and already in setup, ready to join us.
And just right behind, just a minute off that pace, we've got another newer runner to the free enterprise community. We've got Obda Jr. coming in at 135.30 in 5th place.
And GG Couch 23 now joining us in chat. Are you with us?
Oh, yes, I am.
GG Couch, welcome back. A nice solid run on your part. 4th place finish today. What do you think of the seed?
I was just looking for Edge the whole time. I don't know where he was at. Other than that, it was a pretty fun seed. I had fun.
Well, I think through process of elimination, the only place that no one has possibly checked was going to be on the giant Babel. Everything else
that would be it.
That is how it goes sometimes, for sure. But fun seed, no J Adams. How does that really, give you a strategy, or what's your plan for that?
It really doesn't change my strategy too much. I just still try and find 2 mages, 2 fighters, and a miscellaneous 3rd person, which happened to be Tella.
So a corpse.
Yeah, pretty much. Corpse / agility anchor / random berserker.
But Corpse is really his most important role, isn't it?
He did get a berserk off in that fight, so he played a very good, useful role.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Tella, as good as a Bacchus wine. That's it.
All right, and so we've got Chrism getting set up on Zeromus at this point in time, getting off a very small Cure 4. I think there's a little problem. Somebody didn't change equipment. They still have that Artemis bow on Rosa.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's going to be rough. And it was a while ago.
Still has the levels, thankfully. Their grind being finished, but needs a staff for the white mage at this point.
So talk about your character progression, because you did have an Excalibur-wielding Cecil, and you opted to ditch him for a young. Was it just to get that Tella agility anchor roll in there?
The only reason that I got Cecil in the first place was to dupe the Excalibur. He was just there to dupe it, so I could just drop it.
Not a big Paladin fan, are you?
He has his uses. I find in regular seeds like this, I really don't use him too much. He can be useful. I don't know. There's just something that I'm not a fan of him about.
That absolutely seems fair. And just very quickly, just to give us an update on the race, we have a cluster of finishers coming in 6th, 7th, and 8th. 6th place is Big Dunka, 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 2 seconds. Muppets in Space, 7th place, 1 hour, 38 minutes, 11 seconds. Scratch Dragon, 8th place, 1 hour, 38 minutes, 27 seconds. So GG to all 3 of those runners coming in right in tight succession. Very good race for all 3 of you.
Yeah, that was a flurry there, all within 30 seconds of one another, really. Very well done. Big Dunka, Muppets in Space, and Scratch Dragon. GG's. Chrism looks like is fighting wait, what?
Interesting. Looking for experience points, maybe? Looking for top-end items off of these fights. Alright, Natara's about to get her crystal as well, so she'll be on the grind path in just a moment, which is fantastic on her end.
Alright, so Natara is wondering everything, and Couch is gonna take off, get some rest. GG to Couch. Chrism Phoenix, they are on a Bahamut fight, and I'm still figuring things out here on that one. But Natara also about to start a grind. It looks like going up and going to be turning in that Darkness Crystal.
Makes good sense without a doubt.
Or the package. Well, this might be our first foo.
Yeah, it looks like she is going through with it. She is going to take the Soya.
Well, and Natara hasn't done a whole lot of grinding, so there's not a whole huge investment. Chrism going for those items and finds just ice mail, ice armor, which not exactly what you wanted to see for that time investment.
Nope, exciting in FF4 randomizer, you know, being good armor there, but here, not what you want. And so we're about to see the mop cast Titan here.
I love how it's a mop. Like the enemy is a mop.
Yep, but that's where we stand right now. Yeah, it's a little tough seeing Chrism making the one mistake with the staff kind of leading to this, but they have had an excellent run routing-wise. It's pretty impressive being able to keep up with Couch for an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, Couch and Night Dew and the top tier runners, when you're, and you said Chrism, they are relatively new to Randomizer, so being in a position to be able to kind of keep pace is a goal at that point. And being on the restream like this will absolutely help them later on being able to make comparative choices. Like, oh, I did this when this person did this, and this might have cost me the race.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a couple of things that, you know, that they'll know that they can do better. You learn so much from watching your restreams for sure. Quick update from the IRC. We've got an SRL official time, 1:42.11 for our 9th place finisher, Dipwood. GG, Dipwood.
Does look like we still have quite a few people who are still in it.
Absolutely, we're about halfway there. Natara is going to pick up Fusoya now, so in good shape there.
And Asura is hitting like a truck right at the moment, too.
Yeah, we've got Vanilla Spot Asura, so she is a threat and a danger to everybody involved.
I think this is French Vanilla, right next door in the Leviathan spot.
I always mix those two up.
And yes, French Vanilla because it's vanilla-ish.
Slightly nicer than Vanilla? I don't know. The punches, the way they're falling right now, I don't know about that one either. Alright, so now Natara's got decisions to make on her grind. I know that she knows the D-Machine grind. I'd be shocked if she doesn't go for it right now. She does have to suffer through the ignominy of the old lady block, though. We may be here a while.
The old woman. I tell you what, whenever I'm going to check the items, I will take half a second as she is like right at the edge where she could start blocking you to push her up. Explicitly so I don't have to deal with that.
So what you're saying is that you shove old ladies.
I mean, yes. Let's not mince words here. I'm fine with shoving old ladies if I'm speed running and they're in my way. Get out the way. I got a race to win.
You heard it here first, folks. Vitasia, part of Push Old Woman Out of the Way %.
Oh, God, I hope that doesn't ruin my political career later.
That would be unfortunate. Chrism is actually rewarded with a Protect Ring, one of the best defensive rings in the game. Increases some of your magic stats, gives you a whole pile of magic evasion, which is pretty great. And Vitasia, it looks like with chat that you're not alone. Mortalamago says, I shove little girls out of the way too.
Seems right. I'm down. Get out of my way. I got stuff to buy.
Alright, so Natara is summoning the big whale for the big flight.
Now, do you think Natara goes and checks to see who is at that spot or commits to the grind going right to the giant?
I don't know how much of a priority she has on Fusoya, on Edge, but it looks like she is going to go and make the check. Alright, Chrism Phoenix has decided that maybe a couple more levels solve the problems here, so going to go back into Sylph Cave a little bit, search for some items, kill some units maybe, do a little bit more grinding, crack the 50 point.
Chrism opening chests in Sylph Cave, which can be a little bit dangerous. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of monster treasure chests, which can really slow you down. There's one of them.
Yeah, but they're also experience points. Like this is a 60,000 experience point box that was just opened. Alright, getting off some quakes, so we've got Natara, who is patching up the party after checking the character. And coming up fairly empty. I think Cecil definitely qualifies as coming up blank here. And she is going to go, and we are going to go into the giant.
As expected here.
Yep, again, speedrun tactics here. This grind is, you know, the speedrun grind. This also means that we're going to get to hear the Giant of Babel theme, which I think is my favorite musical track on the Final Fantasy IV soundtrack.
It's among my favorites. I don't know if I would call it my favorite, but it's up there. It's certainly awesome and deserving of its epicness.
Absolutely. Not going to make anybody choose. Again, always a lot of good choices on this soundtrack for sure. I don't know, there's just something about this track for me.
I mean, Nobuo Uematsu was such a visionary for his time. Being able to do what he did with 16-bit music tracks is just astounding. So, big shout out to him.
Yeah, with no doubt he got so much out of this SNES sound chip. Just impressive work for sure. Alright, and just for this, once Natara gets up to the save point, we're likely to see a save and then a hard reset here. The reason being is that she's going to use a little bit of technique to manipulate encounters to get the encounter that she wants. In particular, you want the encounter with the searcher that's going to summon up D machines for you to kill in groups on Moss. Going to make a lot of dead dragons.
Dead dragons are the best.
Yeah, she's going to underflow her MP first, so that Fusoya does not need to worry about magic considerations. So there we go. Has a boatload of magic now, so can cast Quake for quite some time.
And here we see setting up and organizing Fu in such a way so that we're ready to go with nukes and weaks and quakes and whatever we may or may not need.
Gonna bring the damage, though, and the weaks. Seeing Chrism continue to clean out Sylph Cave here. Keep the party patched up and going for these chests in case of bad encounters, and there's Natara with the save, with the reset, with the encounters coming back on. And Chrism finds a Lunar Staff, which is, I believe, exactly what they needed to finish this up.
And I think this is the fight, too.
Yeah, she's taking it, so she's going to start off by quaking the group, which will make the D machine show up right away. Important to note, just to be safe, that that's potentially dangerous. And there we go. We have dragons.
There's an early fire, which can be a little painful.
Fire, thankfully, though, is a percentage damage spell, so it's never going to be lethal. It only does a percentage of your maximum hit points. So, unresisted, it's 25%, so you can consistently heal through here. And very interesting, because never going to get meleeed, so puts Palom and Fusoya in front because it doesn't matter, and is going to start throwing life potions at corpses. Gets a triple to start. Good, impressive timing work there. Alright, we've got pull number 2 here from Chrism on the final boss here. Did you see if they equipped a staff on Rosa?
I believe they did. Don't quote me on that.
Duly noted.
Got a double there for a second. So, I mean, this is kind of textbook how you do the grind right now from Natara.
Yep. And we'll see, once as you see this get going, you'll see how quickly she's going to get her party above level 50 here once it's done. It's going to be one fight and out. She's probably counting the D machines as we speak. Yeah,
opted to cure for Rosa, so we're gonna have to cycle through to get ready for Fu again.
Yeah, it's a good safety strategy for sure, though. You know, nothing is happening. You can heal for free. Paladin's got a staff and can swing in as well, so keeping the cycles nice and tight still.
Meanwhile, Chrism is on Z right now.
Alright, getting off some Berserks, gonna start getting the team up and running.
Yeah, the Twins are a little bit low HP right now. 18 and 1600 will not be able to survive an unnerfed Big Bang, at least depending on where it goes, but the trio should be able to handle it on their own at worst case scenario.
Wow, that is a massive Big Bang, and the slow is going to go up afterwards as well. So this nuke is like to take out another character as well.
And it's on Rosa, and Chrism wisely decides to reset after that.
That's a rough break for sure. And so we've got Chrism going in for pull number 3 here. I'm going to equip that Dwarf Axe, going to equip that Cursed Ring, going to check that status. Agility 11's a little on the low side. You can go with a real sword here, get to 16. All right, and we have a 10th place finisher at 155.31. We've got Great White Hope, the Master of the Undead. 10th place, 155.31. GG.
So Chrism is right there, round 2. Gonna nerf Cecil's agility. We'll see if it makes much of a difference here.
We shall see. Tara should be kind of wrapping up this grind in a minute here. I mean, she wants the levels right now.
I mean, can you blame her, really?
No. Safety first, everybody. If you're D-Machine grinding, you can get levels. You can hit 60, 65 pretty quickly.
And once you're in it, like, there is a lower opportunity cost to continue the grind when you're already in it, as opposed to the egg fight or going deeper into the cave, the sealed cave. Once you're in it, and just get as many levels as you want. There's no end to it.
All right, and we have coming in with an official SRL time of 1:57.07, our 11th place finisher, Doctor of Spin. GG, Doctor of Spin. Starting to see things wrap up for a lot of our runners here as we're getting through things now. We've got a slow this time on Zeromus. This is getting off to a much better start already. I spoke too soon. Nuke on Rosa.
Oh, and he's got the Drain Spear. I don't know if he... I think he burst Cecil with the Drain Spear, Drain Sword on.
Yeah, it's going to slow things down a little bit, for sure.
Oh, and I hope this one's nerfed.
Should have been from the slow. It's the first one, and you can nerf that one basically for free at any time. So.
Uh-oh. Natara's mop is dead.
The major thing is that, you know, there are ways to bail out the grind here at this point, in regards to, like, using Quake or using, you know, high-level spells if you have access to them from Palom. And out comes Quake.
Yeah, I think at this point, man, you got to raise. Oh, goodness.
All right, we've got the switch to Excalibur now. Cecil's about to die, though.
Wow, wow.
That's tough.
Oh, we have a lot of dead party members. Oh, man.
Not ideal, to be sure. Trying to bring this one back from the brink, so come on, Natara, you can do this.
I think the roughest thing about this is that you get a life off and they're immediately fired down, and you're trying to get everyone up so they can take advantage of this experience grind you just did.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be Rose and Palom getting the levels right now, which is a really tough break, but at least it's somebody. Alright, and the wall fell down on Kane, and he died. Not ideal.
Oops. And oh, he's on Excalibur now. Okay.
Yep, hitting for around 400 this time, so we're gonna get the second slow off. Trying to stabilize this fight a little bit. Come on, Chrism, you can do this.
Oh, Palom takes it to the face. This is less than ideal for Natara.
Yeah, it's hard that this grind can just kind of come apart in a moment's notice if you're not on top of your heels, and if you miss a week from Fusoya, it's real tough. Not something you ever want to see happen, without a doubt. And Chrism at this point in time is probably yelling at the screen, saying, "Please stop nuking my white mage."
That's been a lot of, oh no, and a big bang.
Alright, down goes Rosa. Natara trying, hoping it's all hope to bring this one back.
At what point do you just cut your losses and say, I can't do this?
I don't know, that's a very difficult decision. You know, you don't want to lose that experience. You want to get it on somebody, but going to start firing Artemis arrows at this dragon. I think she is committed to bringing this one down and getting Rosa all the experience, so at least someone's going to get something.
Hoping your white mage is going to be able to survive if you get this down.
Looks like my Fiesta run right now with the 4 white mages to start off. It's slow and steady, and you're probably not going to die, but it'll be a while. Alright, Chrism uncorking Quake on Zeromus now. Definitely yelling at the screen now, please stop nuking my white mage. Double white mage is a great safety valve though, but please stop.
Oh, and all the levels for Rosa, 29.
2 million experience points, which could have been given to everybody. Rose is level 63 though.
Just got a little bit greedy. Just a little bit greedy there.
That's tough. No one wants to see that happen. That's never what you want.
More white mage nuking. It's like Zeromus knows that that's your preferred character and you want to keep that one alive.
Absolutely crazy how many straight nukes we've seen on Rosa. We do have a 12th place finisher coming in. We have JC87, official SRL time of 2:03:45. GG to JC.
Here's another big bang, which is going to kill Rosa. Oh! Oh!
It's gonna take the entire party. Ooh, that's a brutal hit.
That was a little bit rough.
Alright, Chrism, you've got this. This is the time, I can feel it. And Natara setting up the grind fight a second time to get the levels on the rest of her characters. She opts to Quake with Palom. The reason being is that it gets Fusoya up to the top of the rotation a little bit more quickly, so that she can start getting weeks off and start killing dragons.
Makes sense. You think she'll be going for quite as many as we saw last time?
I don't think she's going to need quite as many. I think she's got a good feel for how much she needs. It's going to be probably enough to get to 50 and call it a day. But let's go, chat. I see we've got some people. Come on, give Chrism your energy. We want to see them finish real strong today. They gave us a good show. Let's get them over the finish line this time.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of lessons learned by Chrism there at the last Zeromus fight, so we'll see what ends up happening. We do have another finish. Nitsky won 13th place, 205.48.
All right, GG Nitsky coming in with a nice finish here today. And comes in with the greatest comment of them all.
Top 13, woo!
Gotta appreciate that.
Oh, come on, Chad. I know this chat is capable of more love than that. Come on. Get your love out there. Hearts on the table.
Different white mage, same result. It's a nuke to Forum this time. Can we just stop? Zeromus, please. I need you to stop. I need you to not do this to anybody. You're hurting me. You're hurting me directly.
Nah. There's got to be something innate about nuking white mages.
Hurts my heart.
I mean, I don't think Natara is going to have any problems with white mages being nuked.
Night Dew does comment, Natara's Rosa is going to be incredible. We might see like a level 80 Rosa, near level 80 Rosa crossing the line today.
Like, what you got, Z? What?
Alright, Scala bringing out the love. I can see it coming now. You know, again, trying to get Chrism over the line. Still, this has been tough on them right now.
Yeah, it's been rough. Absolutely.
All right. We do have a 14th place finisher. We have Empty Eye finishing in 14th place. Time 2:07:42 seconds. GG to you, Empty Eye. There we go. Another 1,000,000 experience points. 23 levels. Distributing it out. Rosa gets 7 more, so she'll be at a solid level 70. It's not that good.
And now you have to kind of walk out, because that's the fastest way to do it at this point.
You can warp out 1 floor at a time, so that does exist as an option. Alright, here we go. Prism Phoenix pulling again. And JLo7 commenting, you know things are crazy when your white mage has the highest hit points. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
You're not wrong in any capacity.
Rosa has the stats probably to survive 2 Big Bangs for Natara.
Prism reset again.
Didn't get the agility setup I think they wanted on their Cecil, so ends up stepping out to start over. Alright, so Natara is going to start pulling Zeromus as well now, leaves the Giant.
Alright, this might be a bit of a race here between our 2 runners, because they're both going to be on Z right around the same time. Oh, we're gonna get a little bit hype here, aren't we?
We are gonna get a tight finish here for sure. Natara looking for equipment in her equipment list here. Not gonna find an awful lot. There's not a lot of gear in these runs for sure. The one thing I could say about Prism is I know from practice that they did a lot of work with the D-Machine grind, and the fact that they ended up missing out on the Darkness Crystal has, definitely been kind of the factor for them on this run. On Natara's side, we've got Adamant Armored, 4,000 hit points, level 70 Rosa. We're going to see probably a decently smooth Zeromus fight.
Not great equipment outside of Rosa, though. I mean, Runax, Cecil, didn't see a ton, and is actually dipping out.
Not sure where she's going, but she's looking for something.
Oh, she remembered that she can get an Excalibur.
That will make a very large difference here, so she's going to cash out for the Excalibur and then go in and finish the fight here. All right, here we go one more time. Slow misses.
I think has the right setup right now for things on the party. Setting up a slow, has a Cure 4 queued and ready to rock.
Okay, that's good timing on that. Nuke Cecil. Woo!
I mean, White-ish Mage.
Right, we get the single target heal off, unnuke Cecil. Also, it seems like that the thing I did not notice is that an adamant, or excuse me, a an Avenger was found for Kayn, so Kayn is swinging a Holy Avenger in this fight, doing that Avenger damage with the free Berserk.
Yeah, that's absolutely nice, and something you don't always end up getting, but when you can, man. Oh, and gonna have to downgrade to the ice unless you stick with the crystal armor, knowing that you can't burst Cecil if he's got that crystal armor.
Yeah, I think the call there though is that there is a extra sorcerer shirt lying around in her inventory, and Cecil can equip that, and it gives really good magic defense.
Yeah, and on Z, he's not gonna punch you in the face, so you go with magic defense if you can.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you look at Akumus, and he absolutely looks like he's going to punch you in the face, but he's not actually going to punch you in the face.
All right, playing it safe, keeping Cecil going here. Atara's finishing up item setup now. One last save. She's about to go in. The Big Bang timings for Prism just hurt my heart.
And both white mages down.
Alan does the job, gets a life potion off before falling over to sap damage.
There's a black hole and another reset from Chrism. Oh.
No. I think the big thing is that with 3 characters, you can probably cure 4 everybody to full every time with group casts, so... Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is now a straight line race between Chrism and Atara. They're going to be starting their Z fights right around the same time. Chrism, 5th or 6th try, though, by now.
Yeah. Like we've been saying, it was an excellent run, again, keeping pace for the first hour and 25 minutes with some of the top runners. You know, a little bit of difficulty with grind, difficulty skips Wyvern, ends up without their preferred grind spot, ends up, you know, things happen and it's tough, and, you know, we want to see all the runners succeed and finish runs and do their best without a doubt. So it's always tough seeing when this happens.
Meanwhile, Super Rosa ended up using the crystal. God, in what universe does Rosa have more HP than Cecil?
That's my fanfiction.
Okay, I mean that's fair.
I'm noted for, you know, for being a big fan of white mages in general. So, yeah.
I mean, you know, I run white mage job on 14, so I fully appreciate the white mage, but I understand its traditional strengths and weaknesses a little bit.
Ah, so you're also a Final Fantasy XIV white mage. I see we have much to talk about later.
Yes, we do.
All right, Natara setting up the wall on Rosa.
And GG Palem, maybe?
Maybe. We'll see in a second. Yeah, goes down.
Man, Natara's going all in. That says healing. What's healing?
Yep. So we will get a first nerf Big Bang for Chrism this time around, which is excellent. The White Mage hate coming out in chat. Thanks, chat.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Jeez.
Natara finding a little bit of difficulty, however, as Fusoya goes down as well to some damage, and, you know, all the backup plans are gone.
Yeah, and that's... You're going to have to use Rosa to heal at this point in time. Granted, you're going to get a Cure 4 off on Zeromus, but at this point, you don't have much of a choice. Oh, wait, what?
Oh, there was a black hole that went off, so we lost that. And Natara's just going to go with 3 characters. Nope, she's going to go with Life 2 and Fusoya, so we're not going to see 3 character strats here.
Man, this is close between these two. I like it.
Yeah, this has been a very tough fight. Alright, Chrism using heal to nerf the Big Bang, which is, again, some speedrun tech. Nukes a White Mage. Why not?
Because when you can, you nuke a White Mage? And Natara, you know, nuke the Dragoon, who's been a pain in the patoot from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, but the Dragoon's got a pile of hit points, so... Alright, Chrism definitely doing a good job here recovering this fight. Gonna get off a Cure 4 on everybody. Everybody's gonna be up and standing. Black Hole goes off, not a big deal here. Paladin's gonna parry. Don't want to risk counters on your White Mages again.
These two are gonna finish just back to back in one another, I think.
Yeah. Alright, gets the slow off on, on Zeromus, setting things up. Natara's team's got plenty of hit points to survive the Big Bang, except Fusoya's 2100 is not very impressive. Chrism catching a rough timing on that Big Bang.
Yeah, it's a little bit low. Pela may be taking a dirt nap here. Oh no. At this point, it's Virus Phase 2. And another reset by Chrism. It's just rotten luck. Like, they've not been doing anything bad. It's just rotten luck.
Yeah, there's a couple of small things, but it's a lot of it is just not having your White Mages alive at key times is pretty bad. It's always tough to recover those fights, and that one, and we're in a troublesome spot for sure. Is Natara about to have a little problem? I think she's about to have a little problem.
Yeah, she's about to have a big problem.
Yeah, the big bang timings can be very dangerous, but black hole timings can also be very dangerous when you're going for wall strats, because you can oftentimes accidentally kill your own characters when you don't want to. Natara considering her options right now to keep her party up and running.
Yeah, you're going to want to get a Life 2 off on Rosa as soon as you can, because I don't know if Fu is capable of doing this on his own.
There's the Life 2 on Rosa. Kane is in the air. Kane comes down. And we've got You need to evade this. All right, the Soya gets out of the way.
Man. That was clutch.
The key rock dodge there is going to probably bring Natara clean to the finish line now. Chanting White, going to try and blow away Zeromus now.
Oh, man, that was so clutch by Fu. And there it is, the flashbang. Natara, GG. 15th place at 2:23.09.
All right.
And hey, Natara, so how about that Fu rock dodge?
Oh my god. Fu, just please. My god. Just the fact I had to do the double grind fight made me cry a lot. I was like, no. But I was very happy to see Meteo phase. That was a little clutch. But I was definitely super happy when I got it. I was like, oh my god, yay.
Yeah,
So,
this is definitely good.
I gotta ask you, so how about Edward's key item spot?
Oh my god, I just totally forgot. And I even used a tracker and everything. But I eventually went back. I was like, oh yeah, I should probably go check him out, shouldn't I? This is, free lunch. So I eventually went back. I was just happy I didn't end up being dragged into Zot. I distracted myself with billions of things anyways. Even though the whole seed, I was like, you should go do Tower of Babel. Everything is pointing to underneath and you got the tower key. You should go do the Tower of Babel. You have this, but I kept just being distracted by everything. So, yeah, I was just happy I wasn't dragged further.
Feels like
I got 16 to 17 items. Oh, yeah.
that's the long run for sure. Feels like free enterprise tradition. Nobody wants to go into Tower of Babel unless they need to go into Tower of Babel. So
I don't know. I don't mind it so much, but where I had some problems with some of the earlier boss fights, I was delaying on going in some places while I strengthened up my party. And wow, Rosa definitely learned the meaning of strong.
yeah, level 70 Rosa.
It was beautiful. I was like, well, I need to do another grind because just Rosa being that high isn't good enough. So I went in and then, yeah, when I saw her level, I just laughed a bit. I think she had the highest HP of everybody. And I was like, wow, what? So that was pretty exciting.
So tell me a little bit just about your general strategy with these particular flags. A lot of us, I think, have been practicing the league qualifier flags. How do you approach this one differently compared to something like that?
I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a lot of running lately, but a lot of the stuff I do just comes down to our treasures more than items. Do I have, where can I build a party? Where can I get another free item? So routing is not my strong point, and sometimes it comes together, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty woozy anyway, so my routing tends to be not so super. But yes, I agree with Nightdew in chat saying that Babel is greater than sealed. Nobody wants to do sealed cave. That's where the trap is.
I don't know, Invenerable likes doing sealed. But
well,
he's a crazy man who does crazy things.
I was going to say, Invenerable is more than welcome to do the sealed cave. I know I've done my grind fight multiple times in the sealed cave, but it's definitely not a fun thing to do at all.
Yeah, so the double dragon fight, we thought you were going to pull it out for a little bit, and then you just... At what point did you commit yourself to Rosa at that point and says, well, I guess my Rosa's going to be, a BA?
I have had too many grind fights that have gone wrong due to things like Tella or whatnot. So at that point, I was like, no, she's got an adamant armor, and with the damage it's doing, I can just tough this out. I can berserk, and well, I wasn't going to berserk actually, but like I can cure enough that I can survive this. So I was like, I'm not losing all of this, even if it means just super powered Rosa. I am not losing this progress. So especially because literally I was already like, okay, next turn I'm going to kill that thing, and we're going to end the grind fight. And then the dude one-shot Fusuya. I was like, what? What did you just do?
Yeah, everything can fall apart so quickly there. That's
Yep.
just a really bad break.
Yeah, absolutely. And it happens. That's just the nature of these games, and especially Final Fantasy IV. As someone stated before the race, it's not about so much being good and lucky. It's about knowing how to recover when things go bad. So I was like, yep, I'm just pulling it through, and I'll get my girl Rosa through. And then we'll just do another one, but at least she'll have life 2 then. So if we get in the same situation, she can just life 2, and we'll be in a much better situation. So, and it worked out really well. That second grind fight went well, and, level 70 some odd Rosa. It's pretty beautiful.
Big numbers. Speaking of which, Chrism is taking another crack here at the last fight. Has had a little bit of bad luck with Rosa catching literally every nuke under the sun, it feels like.
No, and Zeromus is just really difficult anyways. Like, even for the best people at this game, Zeromus can just be a bit of a jerk. And if you either don't have the right party, don't have the right luck, or just don't have the right strategies, it can be pretty terrible. And because these seeds, this particular set of flags, doesn't have like the J items everyone's been used to, and it's got glitches instead, which folks are not used to anymore, it's a bit of a different take than usual.
Yeah, it definitely required a little bit of mid-game grinding and a little bit more of a challenging thought process through getting your party to where they needed to be. And I know that pretty much every runner has dropped runs on Zeromus more than once. And now we're in the Meteo phase. Come on, Forum, get off that tier 4.
Yeah. Well, Meteo phase is just a joke anyways. Though everyone's had that fight where you die at the Meteo phase. I definitely did just a couple weeks ago. But yeah, generally speaking, Meteo, you're like, yes, Meteo's so weak. It's the only time in the game you're like, Meteo, the weakest.
Yeah, I had a top 3 turn into a 9th place finish one week because I dropped to Meteo phase.
No. And it just feels so bad because Meteo phase is the easy phase, but there are just some setups where when it happens, you're like, welp, that's bad timing. I can't recover from this, and I can't even survive Meteo phase.
And GG Chrism Phoenix,
Yay!
finishing now with a time of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 7 seconds. Before you start, Chrism, I do want to say this before you get going. You kept up with Couch for 1 hour and 25 minutes of that run.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is a very impressive showing.
Who is Couch?
Oh, right.
Newbie, remember?
No, I don't remember. Couch 23 is one of the top runners of this game. Generally routes very tightly, has good runs, was a part of the Invitational earlier. Definitely one of the marquee names in speedrunning for Enterprise, among other games. So to keep up with him for as long as you did, you should feel really good about this run.
Yeah, I was noticing that during all the practice seeds I had, I was starting to get a really good rhythm for the early game, and I felt really solid with that. And then I just couldn't find that Dark Crystal.
Oh no.
If I could find that Dark Crystal, I would have demachined it straight to Zeromus.
Yeah, and you've been practicing the D-Machines a lot.
Was it Cave Magnus or Tower of Babel?
It was behind Wyvern at Tower of Babel.
I don't entirely regret my decision then.
Yeah, everything was at Tower of Babel. That was the play to make.
I knew with Tella there was no way I was going to be able to take on Wyvern at those levels. So probably the right decision. I just probably should have grinded Sylph Cave more efficiently, or found a way to take down Wyvern. Ugh.
Wyvern's gross on a good seed.
Well, Wyvern was gross. Yeah, he's gross anywhere. But I mean, still GG. I mean, we saw you kind of struggling there, but pulled it out. Very well done. Either way.
I just feel miserable having such a horrid showing for Zeromus.
Hey, we've all been there. We've all had that time.
Yeah, but this is not my first time, and it always happens for a race.
Oh yeah.
That is how it goes though, and we can all talk about the doom and gloom and the drops Zeromuses, and trust me, we've all got stories to tell about that.
Okay.
But really,
well, moving on to more positive progression. So you said I held up with Couch for the first hour. After that, what could I have improved?
I think the one thing is Couch went to grind doors instead of Sylph Cave. Doors being a little bit faster, as long as you've got life potions, of which I think there were plenty of them. So
yeah.
Yeah, doors is one of my choice level up spots if you don't have this stuff for one of the other quick grinds.
Yeah, thinking about it, Sylph Cave is just a terrible place to grind always. Why did I stick it out there?
Oh no.
Dem, I blame you for telling me to grind Sylph Cave weeks ago when you got me into this.
I grind Sylph Cave all the time. I'm a bad person, clearly.
You're the one who put into my impressionable little mind that grinding Sylph Cave would ever be a good idea.
Right? This first here on Speed Gaming 3, don't listen to Deverin.
Oh no.
No. All right. But Chrism Phoenix, GG to you. Natara, GG to you. To our
Thank you.
Night Dew, Couch 23, and all of our runners, big GG. We need to kind of wrap things up. We have, right after this, we're going to have an ALTTP randomizer race right here. It's going to be Jacobs for Life versus J Meisher. I believe this is their second match. So if you're a Rando fan, stick around. There's going to be some more action coming on directly after this.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It generally is. I'm going to be biased, and I hope my Rando folks aren't in here. Free Enterprise is more fun.
Whoa, the die has been cast here.
Well, we know you're on the right team at least.
Okay. Well, before I shoot myself in my other foot, let's go ahead and get things wrapped up here. Does any other last-minute comments from anyone?
No, just thanks for having us, and anyone who watched this and thinks it might be fun, come join us. We have 2 different weeklies, one on Monday evenings at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and that is open to absolutely anyone. So just join our Discord, and the Discord can be found at our at the Free Enterprise site, which I'm just going to link in Speed Gaming and hope I don't get banned. And yeah, come play with us. We're pretty cool most of the time.
Yep, and we've got the league coming up soon, so we're gonna have our first big coordinated competition coming up. Of course, I'd also like to thank Neon Gray for tracking for us this afternoon, or this evening, which was fantastic. So thank you so much. But I think that is everything. Vitasia, thank you so much for working with me tonight. It has been a pleasure.
Oh, you as well, Demerin. It's always awesome to get to be on Speed Gaming, and more importantly, be a part of this wonderful community. I'm having a ton of fun, and I hope everyone else joins us and has more tons of fun.
The tonnest of funds.
The tunniest of tons.
Indeed. And yeah, follow all the commentators and the restreamers and the trackers. They do good work.
All right, and that's going to do it for us.